It's like shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before I get started with this lesson, I would like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ha, Rekah, Kodash, Ma'amath. Definitely want to give double honors to the apostles of JMS and the elders. Definitely want to give double honors to my elder, Harwam, Bon Yashal of the Lions Den Camp, located in Jacksonville, Florida. Shalom to the sincere Akim and Akwatim that believe in sincerity and the truth. Shalom. All right. Today's lesson is going to be going over the vacuum bombs of Putin. All right, he's bringing them back out as if people been keeping up with current events. Ukraine is basically been going and entering into the border of Russia, and so Vladimir Putin is starting to pull out a lot of his different arsenal that he put up. Right, I believe I was reading an article not too long ago. It said Russia allegedly lost 400 men on the border, and that Putin is now put the country in a basically in a state of emergency type of situation, right? He's pulling people back. He's going to start bringing out arsenal and weaponry that he kind of like stopped using for a minute, all right? Because the warfare has rules, right? Me and one of the brothers we're just talking about this, man. Dealing with war, it has rules into it, man. So it's certain things you can't do when it's dealing with war, right? They call them war crimes, right? So, and it's mostly to help protect the civilians, all right? So Putin is now finna bring these back out, right? To start doing some major damage to Ukraine. But while I was reading this actual article, man, it brought so many precepts to mind, man. And again, these vacuum bombs have been used before by Putin. I believe he killed close to 300 soldiers in Ukraine with the vacuum bomb, if I'm not mistaken. All right, but like I say, just reading the scripture, it made me, so like reading the article, it made a lot of scriptures pop up into my law, all right? So without further ado, let's get into this article. It reads, evil Putin drops terrifying vacuum bombs capable of exploding people's lungs and suffocate on deadly chemicals, man. All right, and it just, that fervent heat, man, was, started coming to the mind, man. Certain scriptures. All right, but the article says, in his latest counterterrorism bid to overcome the Ukrainian incursion, right, in the border region of Kursk, Russian President Vladimir Putin has reportedly dropped the infamous and controversial vacuum bombs, right? Because those vacuum bombs, man, could do a lot of harm to the civilians, man. So they was receiving a lot of backlash about even using those. All right, but again, man, a lot of scriptures came to my mind. All right, it says, Newez.com, right, who posted this article, it says, has learned that the said explosives are believed to be capable of vaporizing entire human bodies, man. All right, and we know in the day of the Lord, it's gonna come with nuclear fire, man. Right. All right. So just thinking about, and looking at this picture, this explosion, and then thinking about the vaporizing of the entire human body, right? As the scripture says, he's gonna basically leave your spirit, right, in that body and allow it to completely dissolve, man. All right, before he pulls that spirit out of that body, man. Right. So that day of destruction, man, something you don't want to be a part of. You want to be marked with that the wall, man, being marked from being exempt from judgment. It says, under the picture, it says a vacuum bomb engulfs its target in a blazing inferno. It says vacuum bombs, another name for thermobaric explosives, are usually filled with solid fuel or a highly combustible material in like an arsenal form, like like air freshener, stuff like that. So it's spraying out these small chemicals, right? These pretty much almost like water droplets, right? If you ever worked into the medical field, they certain rooms would be quarantine because of water droplets. People coughing, even though we can't see it, it's still in the air. Those that man's spit or breath, cough. Is those water drop. They call them water droplets because those things still be in the air. You know, so just thinking about that and how those little droplets, man, it's like chemical burns, man, chemical fire, to where it will consume you from the inside out, man. All right, by just breathing it in. And it says so like it says, upon detonation, these bombs scatter volumes of the flammable substance across the targets, followed by a secondary explosion milliseconds later that instantly sets the targets on a raging fire, man. All right, so visualize that, man. How, these water droplets of particles, of chemical particles, right? So after that initial explosion, right, it says upon detonation, these bombs scatter volumes of the flammable substance, man. Right? Just think of like water droplets being, chemicals sprayed out like arsenal, like you spraying a goddamn air freshener can, right? And then right after that, another explosion hit, boom, right, which sets all of those. It's like a chain reaction, right? Just like if you put a lighter to a goddamn air freshener, man, same thing. All right, it says TB, which is thermobaric explosive compositions, are fuel-rich. Let me move it up so I can get off that correct. It says are fuel-rich formulations capable to create sustained high temperatures and longer duration over pressure as compared to conventional high explosives, reads one of the available descriptions of vacuum bombs. Man, that's crazy, man. It says the percentage, nature, and size distribution of fuel particles, right? Those water droplets or fuel droplets, right, would be a better word to use, are chosen to achieve the enhanced blast and thermal effects, man. Right. So it said it has been reported that the weapon is capable of wiping out a large number of targets in one go, with the flaming chemicals reportedly exploding the lungs and suffocating the targets as they get caught in the relentless inferno. All right, so we know the day of the Lord, man. It's going to be a major destruction, a major judgment come on this place, man, America. All right, and it's going to be burnt with fervent heat, man. Right, them ICBMs, those nuclear missiles. And the Lord said, don't spare none of them. Shoot all of them at them. So it's going to be a bunch of different type. Russia has the Satan 1, Satan 2. They got a whole bunch of, their arsenal's pretty big, basically. Right? Huge nuclear. They're number one in nuclear weaponry, man. It says thermobaric weapons were originally developed by the Nazis and were first used by the United States in the Vietnam War. While there is much controversy regarding thermobaric weapons, it has been reported that using them is not a breach of international law as long as civilians are not harmed, right? So as long as you're not doing them on, basically using them on civilians get caught up in this, right? It's pretty much not a war crime. It says, hey, my shit dying. It says, with Ukraine having launched the first invasion across Russian borders since the attempt made by Germany in the Second World War, it seems Putin is trying to break out every means of destruction from his repertoire to crush the Ukrainian incursion, right? All right, so man, I'm gonna go ahead and grab some scriptures. I got my battery done. I got to find my charger. Oh, grab that shit in a minute. All right, Salakia. So again, man, just reading that, man, a few precepts came to my mind. All right, let's grab a few move this out the way. Salakia. All right, so this is Zechariah 14 and 12. And it reads, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh, right, will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, man. And their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. All right, just going into that chemical fire, man. That that combustible, um, thermobaric, TB, destruction, man. That chemical, like fuel droplets. All right, but again, it's gonna be. He has a huge arsenal, man. And, it's going to be devastating that day, man. The people just going to be left there, standing there, feeling that pain of destruction, feeling that pain of burning, man. So this is why we do the work, man, to tell our people to come out of that mindset, to get away from that, come back to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because you don't want to get caught up in this type of judgment, man. All right. It says, their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Lord Yahweh shall be among them, and they shall lay hold everyone on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. Right. So that was pretty much the point. Just going into thinking about what that nuclear destruction would do to somebody, man, right? Burning a shadow into the ground, right? As as same thing that happened back when they dropped the atomic bomb. Come on, scriptures. All right. Yeah, okay, I had it right. This Isaiah 34. No, so like it's not the one I want right now. Right, because this is the Lord's doing, man. Right, this is His armory. He the one created all of this, man. He the one set this, ordained all this to happen. Right, so He raises up certain people to bring forth His weapons. Right, as it say, Isaiah 54 and 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument. Right, that instrument for His work. And I have created the waste to destroy, man. Going back to the atomic bomb, going back to J. Robert Oppenheimer. Right, matter of fact, I'm gonna grab it real quick. All right, so this is J. Robert Oppenheimer. Right, once declared himself, or possibly the power of the atomic bomb he had unleashed. Right, and this is what he said: "Quote, death, the destroyer of worlds, man. He has become death." Right, that's the whole saying. All right, it says down here at the bottom, matter of fact, it says he's famous for "I am become death." All right, that's his quote, the destroyer of worlds, man. All right, so the Lord gives wisdom and knowledge to certain people, man, to bring forth His weapons of indignation. Right, behold, verse 16, Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bring forth an instrument, those ICBMs, right, that destruction, right. It says an instrument for His work, and I have created the waster to destroy, man. All right, so this is all coming from Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? This is His weapons of indignation, right? So now let's go to Isaiah 34. And I'll start off at 2. For the indignation of the Lord Yahweh is upon all nations, and His fear upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of the carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. Going into that mushroom cloud, man. Heavens rolled together as a scroll, man. All right, as you see. All right, going into those ICBM nuclear destruction, man. Right, that mushroom cloud, and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree, man. All right. How much battery? I got 3%. All right. It says, this Jeremiah 50 and 22. A sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. How is the hammer right, America, man? Right, because all of this is set up to bring down the destruction of America, man. So the Lord can show His power, right, and show how the hammer of the earth can be taken out, man, with the blink of an eye, right? It's all gonna happen in 1 hour, right? Thus saith Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So again, this is all coming from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, him creating the smith to blow up the coals, right? For them to create the ICBMs, just so he can use it against their own heads, man. Put it back on them, right? He the one who created that. He made them basically dig their own ditch, man. Right? You know how the mafia used to do, right? When they used to, they got something going on with somebody and they, want to do some harm to them, unalive them, right? They'll make them dig their own graves, man. And that's pretty much what the Lord did to Esau, Edom, man. Idumea, right? Basically made them dig their own graves, man, by creating these ICBMs, man, that they, and by them tormenting and using it to hurt the people, like when they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? And just using that to be a scare tactic as well to keep these other nations under wraps for a time being, right? Until they was able to build their own nuclear arsenal, just like Russia did, right? And basically this is teaming versus Amalek, man, right? Basically their kingdom is divided, man. That's why the Lord had made, basically came up with this beautiful destruction, man, to put upon their own heads, man. Make them kill each other off, man. You know what I'm saying? With ICBM nuclear destruction. This is why the Lord said, we can't even think like the Most High, let alone we definitely can't think like Yahweh Shai, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can walk in His ways, but, as far as like just that imagination to even think of that, man, like, yeah, I'm gonna make them create some nuclear bombs, man. I'm gonna make them split atoms, and I'm gonna make them go into it, right? And we gonna watch it's gonna be a Fourth of July. You know what I'm saying? Just thinking about the explosions and them shooting off the fireworks and stuff, man. So this is gonna be the light show that the elect will be able to see with their eyes, man. Right, watching the destruction. All right, it says how is the verse 23? How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon. Right, and what's that snare? Them creating their own ICBMs, man. Right, that's going to be used against them, brought back onto their own heads. It says, how is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. See, you wasn't even paying attention, man. You wasn't even aware that this is what the Lord did. He basically gave that information to you so you can create the weapons to destroy yourself. All right, and because we're going to be saved out of it, and Lord willing, Yahweh Ratazan part of that number. All right. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon. Thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord, right? Against Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, against. It says, the Lord, verse 25, the Lord Yahweh have opened His army, right? This is His armory, man. This is His, His weaponry, right, of destruction. The Lord Yahweh have opened His army and have armory and hath brought forth the weapons of His indignation, man. For this is the work of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, our power, right? The Lord of hosts, right, which means the God of armies, right? It says, for this is the work of the Lord God of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans, man, right here in America. All right. Obadiah 1. I believe it's in verse 13. Just trying to get right to the point. It says, the day, subtitle, Obadiah 1, the day of the Lord and the future. It says, for the day of the Lord Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. thy reward shall return upon thy own head, man. So yeah, the Lord made you create these ICBMs just to destroy yourself, just to put leave you there and melt you, and allow your lungs to be burnt up from you being burnt inside out, all your soft tissues being burnt up before anything else, man. Right, and then you you know just feeling that pain, man, just sitting there being destroyed, right, melting. Like Wizard of Oz witches and shit. I am melting, shit like that. But it says, for the day of the Lord Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. Damn, I got 2%. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. Being right after they do their 1,000 years, man, they got to get up out of here, man. Extinction. All right, so but just for all the wickedness they have done to the true children, right, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the speckled bird that spread abroad, that may look like other nations, but by blood through their father are Israelites, man. Right? For all that, abominations and crimes that they have done to us, man. It's gonna be brought back onto their own head. That's why the Lord, basically made them dig their own ditch, man, dig their own grave. It says, verse 17, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, right? The Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, right? We are Zion, man, right? Upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob, see, the house of Jacob, right, shall possess their possessions, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. Going back into those Israelites, man. Coming in power, man. Start kicking some ass once Yahweh Shai shows up, man. All right. Yahweh Shai being that being our king, man. He's the true ruler and king of this earth, man. All right. And right now he's in the glorified place right now, man, sitting right next to the Most High himself, Yahweh. Right. But this is his true kingdom, man, right here on the earth, man. When he comes back, man, he's coming to save the elect out of it, man. Right, and to put all these other nations under his foot, man. Right. It says, and the house, it says, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord Yahweh has spoken it. Right, man. It's gonna be it's a bad time for Esau Edom, man. Right, over there, teaming over there in Russia, Germany, Amalek over there in the land of Israel, right? And it's a lot of, and teaming and Amalek over here in America, you got all their families over here in America, man. They spread out, man. But they basically, the Lord is raising them up to fight against each other and destroy each other, and he's gonna come finish their ass off, man, and deliver us out of that destruction. And that's the faith and patience that we have, man. We waiting on that promise. We know it's coming. We watching the prophecies unfold, right? We see World War III right on the brink. It's right there on the brink, man. Right, the first war has passed, the second one, and 2 more wars had to come, man. We're entering into the third one. All right, and when that happens, man, when it fully is manifesting, it's all hell break loose, right? In Jacob's trouble, when they come against us and start pushing that MOTB, the MOTB, right, worldwide, right, and that's what's going to really implement it, man. Which is this world war, right? Because the dollar is going to be up out of there, so everything's going to be tracked through that micro CHIP that they're trying to implant into people, man, right? And that's going to have all your information, your ID, your health information, your money. Everything's going to be on that card, man, on that, I almost messed up, CHIP, right? YouTube, y'all anyway, you just got to be careful about YouTube, man. YouTube like to, take down your pages and, for certain words. All right, Shalaki for real. All right. This is Psalm 7 and 9. Oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just, right? So let the wickedness of this wicked ass kingdom come to an end, man. Right? Those same ICBMs, man, that they created, right? Basically putting that back onto their own heads, man, right? Let this wicked kingdom fall, man, right? And allow the righteous to be just and delivered. Right? It says, but establish the just for the righteous. Right, so like, let me read that. Verse 9, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just for the righteous. God triumph the hearts and reigns. My defense is of God, right? My defense of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, which saveth the upright in heart, man. Right? Being, the upright in heart. The ones that's doing the work, the ones with the faith, right? The ones that's being a true defender of the gospel, right? The ones that put him first, right? Put the Most High first, Yahweh, and then his only begotten Son right behind him second, right? That's the order. The Most High Yahweh Shai, right? So and believing into the true doctrine of Yahweh Shai, right? And believing that the men that he set up was the men that was given to him by the Most High Yahweh, right? And that's in the scriptures, right? Believing that Paul is a righteous man, being a true disciple, right? And that his writings are, just like Peter, when Peter backed him up, right? But Paul is a righteous man. And his words and his letters that he was writing to the churches are on point, man. Right? They're just, they're hard to understand for a lot of people. But he's a very wise man. The Lord wouldn't have chosen him, man, if he wasn't. Right? Just like he chose the other one. He told him, he was like, bro, you're going to betray me. Right? He knew what was going on, man. The Lord ain't... The Lord be on point, man. Just know that much. So if you doubting Paul, you doubting Yahweh Shai, man. You doubting Peter and you doubting Yahweh Shai. Verse 11. God judges the righteous, and God is angry with the wicked every day. If he turn not, he will wet his sword. He hath bent his bow and made it ready, man. He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death, man. Going back to those ICBMs, man. Right? Going back to the whole start of it, man. The Lord, allowing these weapons of his indignation to be created and allowing those to be turned against the ones that created it, man. Right? He have also prepared, verse 13. Yeah, verse 13. He have also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors, man. Who persecuted us, man? Who persecuted the Israelites, man? Esau, Edom, and these other heathens, man. Right? That's why they, Esau, Edom has the worst judgment, but they all done put their hands on us, man. Right? But Esau got to get it the worst. Right? Behold, verse 14. Behold, he travaileth with iniquity and have conceived mischief and brought forth falsehood. He made a pit and digged it. Right? He made a pit and digged it, and is falling into the ditch which he made, man. And he's gonna fall to that stuff that those creations, those inventions that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua gave to him, man. Right? His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealings shall come down upon his own pate. It says, I will praise, for us, man. I will praise the Lord Yahweh according to his righteousness, and will sing praise to the name of the Lord Yahweh Most High, man. All right. And that's just it, man. All right. And it's a whole bunch of more precepts you can go into. Joel chapter 2. You can go into Peter. Man, I gotta find my charger, man. I'm trying to make it kind of quick, man. I'm just go in here, make it look